How many times did you share your plan? And one comment killed your energy. You were excited, focused, finally ready to change. Then someone said one thing, and the whole mood collapsed. That's not bad luck. That's the cost of talking too early. Today, the Stoic rule of the three silences: progress, anger, truth. Most people never learn this, and it costs them respect. Most people think speaking more means confidence, but real confidence doesn't need a speech. The more you explain, the more you hand people away to doubt you, to bait you, to weaken you quietly. And the scary part is, they don't even need to hate you. Sometimes they warn you, sometimes they joke, sometimes they call it being realistic. But the result is the same. Your momentum dies before results exist. That's why the Stoics lived by one code, 3 silences, because words create access. When you talk too soon, you don't just share information. You reveal your buttons, your deadline, your insecurity. You need to be approved. And once they know your buttons, one sentence can steer your mood. Silence removes their access. You observe first, then you choose your moment. You stop handing people the map to your mind. Now, silence 1. This one decides whether your progress survives, because people don't attack finished results. They attack ideas that are still forming. Learn this silence first, or nothing else gets a chance to work. Silence 1 is the silence of progress. This is the silence that protects what you're building, because when you're changing, you feel the urge to talk. You want to share the new plan, the new discipline, the new direction. But sharing turns your progress into a discussion, and delay kills momentum. Here's what most people learn too late. People tolerate your struggle, but they resist your rise. When you announce progress, you invite opinions, you invite doubt, and sometimes you invite sabotage that looks like advice. One sentence. That's all it takes. Be realistic. Don't get ahead of yourself. Are you sure you can do that? And your fire shrinks before you even start. So the Stoic rule is simple. Build in silence until results exist, because progress doesn't need an announcement. It reveals itself in your habits, in your posture, in your results, like a tree. One day, it's taller than everything around it. Here are the exact lines you can use when people press you. I'm focused right now. I'll share when it's done. I'm keeping this private until it's real. I appreciate it. Let me execute first. They ask, so what's your big plan? You say, I'll share it when it's done. They push, come on, tell me. You say, not this one. Then you change the topic. Another role play. They say, you're acting different lately. You say, I'm improving, that's all. No debate, no long explanation, no invitation for their opinion. Because the less they know, the less they can touch. No one blocks what they can't see. No one sabotages what they can't track. Progress loves privacy, because nothing gets blocked when nobody sees it coming. Now, silence 2. Silence 2 is the silence of anger. Anger is the fastest way to lose power. Provocation is a trap. They don't want the truth. They want your reaction on record. Because the moment you react, you reveal where it hurts. And when you explode, you surrender control. Anger also makes you predictable, and predictable is controllable. So here's the Stoic rule. You don't win by being louder. You win by staying calm first. Use this. Stop speaking. Breathe once. Hold eye contact. 2 seconds. 2 seconds feels small, but it changes the frame. Then answer in one clean line. Short, calm, final. Here are the exact lines. Let me think for a second. Be specific. What exactly do you mean? We can talk when this stays respectful. I'm not reacting to that. I'm not available for disrespect. Role play. They say, you always fail. You pause, then say, be specific. Which part? Now they can't feed on your anger. They must bring facts or stop. Another one. They say, you're too emotional. You pause, then say, I'm choosing my response. One more. They laugh at you in front of others. They want you to snap. You pause, then say it again. Slowly. Most people can't, because the moment you stay calm, they feel exposed. Most arguments never change anything. They only drain your energy. And the biggest trap is this: explaining yourself to someone who never wanted to understand you. They wanted your reaction. So when you master the silence of anger, you become hard to manipulate, and that intimidates people. When you stay calm, they can't read you, and what people can't read, they can't control. Now, silence 3. Silence 3 is the silence of truth. This is the most strategic silence. This is where most people ruin themselves. They discover the truth, and they rush to confront. But the truth is leverage. Reveal it too early, and you hand it back to them. Because confrontation teaches people how to hide better. When you confront too soon, they adjust the story. They delete evidence. They change faces. So do this instead. Observe, confirm, act cleanly. Watch patterns, not promises. Confirm with facts, not feelings. Then act without debate. Because the strongest move is not a fight. It's a boundary, enforced with distance. Here are lines for the silence of truth. Interesting. Noted. I understand. I'll handle it. That tells me enough. Then you stop talking. You know they spoke behind your back. They smile. Everything's fine. You pause and say, noted. Then you reduce access. Less information. Less closeness. Fewer opportunities to play games. Another role play. They ask, are we good? You say, I'm moving. Differently now. No anger. No speech. No negotiation. Because silence creates doubt. And doubt makes people reveal more. When they don't know what you know, they often overtalk. They expose themselves. Often they fear not what you say, but what you're holding back. And when the moment is right, you don't announce your decision. You simply move, quietly. And they feel the consequence before they hear an explanation. That is the silence of truth. The silence that keeps you uncornered. The silence that lets you act when you choose. Now here's where most people ruin the power of silence. 3 mistakes destroy Stoic silence. 1. Using silence as punishment. That's not a strength. That's ego. 2. Staying silent. Then sending a paragraph later. That gives your power back. 3. Staying silent, but doing nothing. That's not wisdom. That's fear. Here's the fix. Silence first. Action second. Silence plus boundary is power. Silence buys you time. Time gives you control. Now remember the code. Silence of progress protects what you're building. Silence of anger protects your dignity. Silence of truth protects your advantage. Now comment. Which one do you need most? Progress, anger, or truth? Subscribe. If you want Stoic rules, you can use immediately.